Alright, today we're going to start section 16.3, preparing a balance sheet. Alright, a corporation's balance sheet reports assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity on a specific date. Some management decisions can best be made after owners have analyzed the balance sheet. The balance sheet information would help management to decide whether the corporation to decide whether the corporation should incur additional liabilities to acquire additional plant assets. So it helps management make decisions. The information used to prepare a balance sheet is obtained from two sources, the trial balance and the statement of stockholders' equity. Here we have the adjusted trial balance. Okay, we're going to pull information from this. 3 green classifies its assets as current assets and plant assets. They're usually listed under separate headings on a balance sheet. This balance sheet is going to be quite long, and we're dealing with a section at a time. So the first section we're going to deal with is current assets. Some of 3 green's assets accounts have related contra accounts that reduce the related account on the balance sheet. And the difference between an assets account balance and its related contra account balance is known as the book value. An asset's book value is reported on a balance sheet by listing 3 amounts. First of all, the balance of the asset account. Secondly, the balance of the asset's contra account. And then thirdly, the book value. Here we have our first part of the balance sheet, which is just the assets part. First of all, we need to write the heading. Okay, company, balance sheet, and then the date. And then begin preparing it, begin preparing the asset section of the balance sheet. We're going to use the information from the adjusted trial balance. First, we're going to write down assets, which is right here. And then current assets is what they're pointing to. Beginning on the next line and indented a little bit, we're going to write cash and petty cash right there in the order in which they appear on the adjusted trial balance, and then write the balance of each asset account in the second column. So we have cash and petty cash. Now we're going to calculate the book value. Oh, we already did, sorry. 3, book value. Yep, now we're going to calculate the book value of accounts receivable. So first we'll write down accounts receivable, and then write the total amount of accounts receivable right there. And then less allowance for uncollected accounts, indented a little bit. So we have accounts receivable, less allowance, subtract those, and write it right there. Make sure I get everything. Yep. Next, write the remaining current asset accounts, the account titles and the amounts. So we have merchandise inventory, supplies office, supplies store, prepaid insurance, notes receivable, interest receivable, and total current assets. Okay, add all of these up and write it in the third column. Add the amounts in the second column and write the total in the third column. Alright, next we have the plant assets account. So this is just a continuation, okay? It's not a new sheet. So we just finished the total current assets. Now we're moving into the plant assets. So we're going to write the heading plant assets, and then calculate the book value of the office equipment. So we're going to write office equipment first, and then the amount of office equipment, $24,895, and then less accumulated depreciation. Okay, so subtract these, and there is the book value of the office equipment. Make sure I get everything. Yep. Now use the same procedure to calculate the book value of the store equipment. Store equipment, less accumulated depreciation of the store equipment, subtract those, and then we're going to add these together and put total plant assets. Then we'll add our total current assets with our total plant assets and have the total assets all together. Oh, sorry. There we go. All right, liabilities section of a balance sheet. Liabilities are classified according to the length of time they are due. Length of time until they are due. Liabilities due within a short time, usually within a year, are called current liabilities. Liabilities owed for more than a year are called long-term liabilities. An example would be a mortgage loan. To prepare the liability section of the balance sheet, use information from the adjusted trial balance. Okay, here we go. We have, we're still in the same balance sheet. We just finished total assets. Now we're writing down liabilities. First, we're going to label it liabilities section, and then write the title current liabilities. Beginning on the next line, indent it a little bit, write the liability account titles in the order in which they appear on the adjusted trial balance. Write the balance of each liability account in the second amount columns. So these are just copies straight over from the trial balance. Add them together. And that's it. Oh, make sure we got everything. Yep, we just add those together and write our total liabilities down. Now the last section is our stockholder equity section of the balance sheet. A major difference between the balance sheets of a corporation and a proprietorship is the owner's equity section. The stockholders' equity section contains the amounts of capital stock and retained earnings. These amounts are calculated and reported on the statement of stockholders' equity, which we just did the other day. So write the heading stockholder equity, and then write capital stock on the next line, and then the amount of capital stock calculated on the statement of stockholders' equity. Okay, we did that the other day. And then retained earnings. Write the amount of retained earnings calculated on the statement of stockholders' equity. Okay, total that together. And then we add our total liabilities and stockholders' equity. Make sure I got everything. Verify the accuracy by comparing the total amount of assets and the total amount of liabilities and stockholders' equity. These two amounts must be the same, and we're going to do that in a second. And then draw the double line, because we be done. If you look right here, this is what I just said to do. Verify that total assets and total liabilities and stockholder equity are equal, because they should be. And this is the entire balance sheet that we just did. Supporting schedules for a balance sheet. A report prepared to give details about an item on a principal financial statement is called supporting schedule. A supporting schedule is sometimes referred to as a supplementary report or an exhibit. 3 Green prepares 2 supporting schedules to accompany the balance sheet. The supporting schedules are a schedule of accounts payable and a schedule of accounts receivable. A balance sheet shows only the accounts payable total amount. How does 3 Green classify its assets? We've got current assets and plant assets. What 3 items are listed on the balance sheet for an account having a related contra asset account? We've got the balance of an asset account, the balance of the contra asset account, and then the book value. What is an example of a long-term liability? Mortgage. Where are the amounts obtained for the stockholders' equity section of the balance sheet? From the statement of stockholders' equity. And then what are 2 supporting schedules that might accompany a balance sheet? A schedule of accounts payable and a schedule of accounts receivable. And that's it.